Hello, Internet. So you want to get into webcomics? That's what today's video is about. Welcome back to Sketchy Antics. Let's Draw, episode 5, I think. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Dub over myself with the correct thing. Today, I am drawing a comic about my girlfriend Rachel dressed as Pikachu tasing a guy. And while I do that, I will also be giving you guys tips and tricks on how to start a webcomic. If you're interested, if you're not, you might find that this video may push you in that direction. So we'll see. Alright, so kind of light tonight. We're just kind of going over things that I've learned over the past 3 or 4 years about starting comic, because I have now started 3 comics? Anyways, there's a lot of basic things that people will tell you as you're starting a comic or as you're making a comic, or you talk with other webcomic people and stuff, or fans of webcomics, and they'll all basically tell you the same kind of things as to what you need to do. And a lot of it, and I'm gonna repeat some of it in a second here, but a lot of it is just kind of like secondhand now. You hear it, it's cliche almost, but it's important. And that's why I'm gonna say it. So the first thing, number 1 rule to making webcomics is, yes, just do it. And this gets spread around a lot. If you go, yeah, I know, I gotta just do it, but how, or where, or why, or with who, or about what, or using what media? Should I get this tablet? How are these pens? That kind of thing. But number 1 rule is just do it. So if you want to do it, hopefully we can kick you off today and get you started on that route. Now, on top of, and I should really point out that all the kind of tips I give today, there's none that are more important than the others. They're all very important in like the structure of things. If one was above all others, it would be just do it. And then I guess if it had to be second, it would be do what you love. And it's true. If you're gonna make a comic, if you're gonna post anything online, if you're gonna do anything in life, it should be what you love. And sure, sometimes we have to do some things that we don't necessarily love to get to a place where we can do things we love. And I get that. And everyone gets that. But you gotta push to find what you love. So do that. And especially do that with your comic or anything you post online. If it's drawings of little cartoon animals, awesome. Let's see that. If it's landscapes, vast, unknown, freaky territories in space, cool. Check that out online. I would. But the point is, do what you love. And if you're not posting what you love, shame on you. Why are you out here? The next thing would be to broaden your comic knowledge, I guess. Read comics is what I'm saying. If you want to post a comic, or if you want to do anything online where you want to not only show off what you're doing, but you want other people to come in and take a look at it, or you feel that people would like this kind of thing, a great thing to do is research. And research can be as simple as, hey, I want to do a webcomic, let's read some webcomics. And it's how I started. At one point in my college career, because I'm super not nerdy and totally cool, I was actually caught up on something like 40 comics at one point. And once you get caught up on a comic, I mean, you really only have to check in like a day or so, maybe once a week, in order to stay up to date with that comic. So that's not that difficult. But catching up, especially when some comics are like hundreds and thousands of comics long, it can be tedious. And you don't have to go to that extreme. Just shop around a little bit. See what you like and kind of adapt that into what you do with what you post online. whether that be your actual work, and obviously don't steal anything, that's not cool. But if you see a kind of, not really style, but if you see a way or a certain area of things that you're noticing that you're really liking, maybe you're drawn to that area, and maybe you should post things in that area. So, but keeping that in mind, you need to have a place where you're gonna put your stuff, right? You just can't just throw it on the internet anywhere, can ya? Kinda. Nowadays, you could basically throw your stuff anywhere. You could just have a Facebook page, Facebook account, Twitter, Instagram, anything you want, just have that be your site. But let's say you want to get a little bit more involved. You can go to the next step, especially when it comes to art. You could have a DeviantArt account, or nowadays you can get to Pastic and Webtoons, great webcomic sites for people who are looking to put a webcomic online but don't have a website. Those two are awesome. DeviantArt, obviously, if you draw, post a DeviantArt. It's going to meet so many cool people drawing so many cool stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, if you find that you're looking for more an area for yourself, I mean, don't get me wrong. Spastic, Webtoons, DeviantArt, I use those as examples, but you can really find a bunch of places nowadays where you can post your art for free without having to pay for domain or hosting or anything like that. But if you're looking for a website, or you're looking for an area on the web that you want to be yours, I recommend WordPress websites. Now, there's a bunch of other kinds of websites that you can do out there, but I personally have had a lot of experience with WordPress, and it's a cool little plugin model where you can build a site. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced, or you have a way to set up a server or so on and so forth, you could get a dedicated server and set up your own website and code it yourself, or find someone to code it. And there's awesome people out there. I think Mustache Designs, and I could be saying their name wrong, I mentioned them I think in a previous video. I was checking out their stuff recently because their stuff's pretty cool. So there are places out there that can design sites for you, but you're gonna pay for it. I find WordPress is a great in-between, because on one end it allows me to have a site. Okay, so what you may not know, depending on how technologically advanced you are with websites and yada yada, you need to have a host. And a host is basically somewhere in the world that has a server, and that server is where they store your website, so people from around the world can access that server to see your site. So first you need a hosting company, and there's tons of hosting companies out there. And this may seem like a little advanced, but we're kind of getting to that next level. So we've gotten to the just post your stuff online. We're assuming you're doing that. Awesome, love to see your work. Let's check it out. In real words though, you really should send me if you end up making a comic. We'll get to that. Anyways, yeah, so servers. So you got a server, you're gonna have to have a host. Now you can get a bunch of hosts online. I believe GoDaddy does hosting. I know Host9 does, which is what I'm currently using. Previously Seartex hosting I was using. There's a bunch of stuff out there. Type in website host, you'll find one. And on top of the website host, you need a domain name. And domain name is the URL that you type in the top. Like sketchyantics.com, or google.com, or twitter.com. That's the URL. And you can go to basically anywhere online and look up to see if a URL is available. And normally URLs are only going to cost you like $15 a year. Not that bad. Hosting can vary. Currently I pay about $60 a year for hosting. So everything's said and done, I'm paying about $75 to keep my website up for a year, which is pretty good. I mean, if you can't afford that, that's understandable. There are a lot of free hosting sites that you can use, but they'll do things like put links and stuff on your site, which if you don't care about that, then go for it. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Or behind? I don't know. The important thing is, if you want a website, you can get one. WordPress, good option. It allows you to build your site without having to know a lot about coding and stuff like that. But at the same time, if you want to learn a little coding, or you want to learn how to build your site by yourself, it lets you do that. So I'd look into WordPress. Again, do your research. It's really all I can say when it comes to this kind of stuff is make sure you do your research, whether it's your hosting company, where you're going to be posting, what you're going to be posting about. Okay, so you got a site, or you got a place where you're posting your stuff, and you're posting stuff, and it's cool, and it's out there. What next? Well, make some friends. Go out there, kiddo. Go make some friends. And it's really true. It's important when you're starting out to make friends that kind of are doing the same kind of things you are, because for one thing, you feed off of each other. And that's a big thing in the comic world, or in the world in general, is that you can have friends that push you, drive you. You can even get ideas, or, just the fact that they're there helps sometimes. And it's true. So find some people who are doing similar things to yours. Find some people that are doing different things, but stuff that you really like too. And some variety can really help. So that's a big thing. Important. I know, you may want to spread your work around really fast and get to know everyone. And you may see some really popular people out there doing that. And you may want to go and talk to all the popular people. Well, great, do that. Find friends that are, in your same bubble of what you want to do at any level, low, medium, high. But don't go after people just because they're famous. I mean, you want to make real friends, and that's going to help out a lot more than contacts. I mean, don't get me wrong, contacts and that kind of thing can give you the push you need sometimes, and sometimes reaching out to those super incredibly famous people that'll never talk to you, but maybe they will, can help. And they might even give you some information that you hadn't gotten before. I know a few people I've talked to have. But yeah, don't go after those people just because they're famous. You gotta have some shared interests there. Anyways, you got friends. Because you do. I know you do. You're awesome. So you got some friends, and you got a website or a place you post to, and you got art. What next? Social media. Spread it. Unless you don't want to. Small niche community. Just want to let a few people know. Want to have it there just for yourself. That's cool too. But if you want to spread it, jump to social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. There's a bunch. Tumblr. It doesn't end. It really doesn't. You can spread your stuff around so easily nowadays. If you have a WordPress site, you can use, Google Ads. You can use Project Wonderful. And all those things are basically ad things that bring ads to your store. Yeah, you can advertise and people will come to your site. I didn't quite know how I wanted to say that. So you can advertise your site on other people's sites and they'll come to you that way, because that's how ads work. You can also get a little revenue if you put ads on your site and people click on them or view them and get a little extra cash. I mean, it really shouldn't be about money to you, unless it is really about money, in which case, I don't know what to do for you. It should be about the art, man, or the love of friends and doing stuff you want to do. I mean, fame and money is kind of like one of those dreams, but I'm gonna break it to you now. There's not a lot of money in this industry. The whole cliche of the broke artist kind of has some backing to it. But I digress. Social media. You want to spread. Great ways to do that. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I've mentioned. Sorry, we just finished up the comic over here to my left. I'm sorry, I just noticed. I hope you liked it. Obviously, I'm tasing, or Rachel's tasing that dude, so that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna finish up here, so enjoy that picture while I rabble some more social media. One of the hugest exploding social media things that, I don't know, I guess it's not really new, but Reddit. And Reddit's got Reddit. And Reddit is basically etiquette for Reddit. If you don't know what Reddit is, well, it advertises itself as the front page of the internet. And they have subreddits which are different categories for basically anything. And there are subreddits for comics and webcomics and art and drawings and doodles and yada yada yada. But Reddit is an amazing place when it comes to the amount of people that can see someone's stuff even when they're brand new or they've never been online before. Other great places are probably Imager. A bunch of names are escaping me offline or right now, but when it comes to Reddit, when it comes to Imager, these kind of places, yes, you're gonna get a lot of views. You're gonna get a lot of people seeing your stuff really quick. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if they like it. If not, keep plugging. And back to the Reddit. Don't spam. It's the biggest thing I can say about Reddit is don't spam. Also, ignore the trolls. Sometimes it's best not to read the comments, and sometimes is all the times. Because especially when it comes to Reddit or Imager, you'll get all sides of the internet. And I mean, you'll get the guys that are right on your back being like, awesome work, you rock. And then you'll have the guys who are standing there sharpening their blades waiting for you to look at them, and then they stab you in the face because they're bored. But ignore them. You're gonna get trolls, and that's no matter where you go on the internet. But like I said, Reddit, Imager, all these places are great ways to get your comic out there, get your work out there so the world can see it. Now, I've basically hit all of the normal everyday stuff in this video. Pretty much the basics for starting comic or starting posting online. And if you're super interested in this, then a lot of this stuff you might have already known. So in the future, in coming videos, I will probably be doing kind of like videos where I concentrate on one area and kind of explain that a little bit more and give you some real hardcore tips and tricks on how you can blossom in that area, whether it be social media, WordPress, drawing, finding friends online. I know sometimes it's hard to find friends, and sometimes it can be nerve-wracking sending someone an email that you've never talked to before, especially if there's someone super famous or someone you really respect. So yeah, but for this video, I'm gonna say that's it. Hope you liked your drawing. Hope my rambling was rambly enough for you. And next time, next video, yeah, probably the next video, I'll start breaking this apart a little bit because I love talking about this. And let me know if there's anything in particular you want me to talk about or any areas that you want to know more about. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you don't want me to talk about that kind of stuff because it's super lame, boring, you're falling asleep at your computer right now. So that's bad. Wake up. Let's go. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Honestly, as always, all the links are down in the description to get to my Twitter, social media, all this stuff that I mentioned before, and my WordPress website, sketchyantics.com, where you can read my comic and see these blogs and other stuff. Love your faces. See y'all next week. Bye-bye.